All right, y'all, I'm back. Let's make sure everything's up. Hi, Ronald. I'm doing good. How are you? How are you doing? Thank you for asking, by the way. I appreciate it. All right, Roha, you said, let me look. Let me look. You said you want to see how Danny feeling now that he's sober and processing his life trauma. Okay, Roha. See, you on it. You was ready. You said, what? You just started? Shit. Let me send you this shit. Hold on. Let me see what's going on with this. Let's see what's going on with Danny. Hold up. Where did that other deck go? Where did I set that? There it is. Right in front of my face. It said, how is Danny feeling now? Pissed off. Danny's feeling pissed. Feel like pissed because I feel like he couldn't make a lot of things right in his head still. Like there's still so much to go. He's achieved, even though he is sober, he's achieved awareness enough to be pissed off. That's what it feel like to me. Yeah. It's like I know exactly, like I feel like now he's in a position where he's like I know exactly what has pushed me to go this far, and now it's making me even more crazy to a degree. And that's like steps obviously within any addiction, any issue like this. It's like I have to sit here and now I have to think about why I got this far, what pushed me this far, like what in my life can I live without, basically, like what can I leave behind. Yeah, Ronald, I'll get to you one moment. Says a lot of positive things like that. I'm going by one moment. I got you. Um, but yeah. So Roha, it's like this. Also, there's a childishness in Danny. Taking responsibility, I feel like it's super hard for Danny right now, and I feel like this comes with, like I said, being sober. There's something to do with responsibility and trying to be, I guess, gentle. You kind of have to be gentler with Danny just because of the situation he's been in. However, it's like you. I want to say this. He also put himself in this situation, so you can't be like you can't sit around and point at everybody else and then be like, okay, like this is your fault, this is your fault, this is your fault, but then also not blame yourself. So lack of responsibility is there as well. Yeah, he I want to say like good things, but I keep thinking and seeing that like I feel like this wasn't enough. Okay, whatever he has gone through, it's still not enough. He still needs help. And then in this, like, I don't think that, man, it's hard, man. It's so hard because I can see it here. I can see him be like, I want to get better. I want to get better. But then it goes right back, you know? It loops right the fuck back around. And then he's in the space again. He's in the space again. It's like sometimes rock, but like you just said, I was about to say, sometimes rock bottom doesn't teach, doesn't teach him. You know what I mean? It just doesn't teach him because you feel like what's the worst that can happen, and you can only keep saying that until you hit like true rock bottom with absolutely nothing at all. But it's like he always finds something. You always find something. It's sad, actually. It's quite sad. It's quite sad. I guess in this too, you have to kind of learn how to process the situation, because there is a certain amount of, you know, even if it's already away from you, there's only a sense of grieving that you can kind of have for this situation. Truth be told, and I feel like you've obviously done that. Where I can see the self work that you have done to kind of accept that this is the situation, but then also at the same time, like, I want to reiterate that anytime you get news about this individual or you see this individual, just to remind you that, like, you deserve the space as well to like emote, to have an emotional opinion, to have an opinion on the situation. Just because it's outside of you, it doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. You know what I mean? And I feel like he doesn't think a lot of the time about other people's emotions and feelings on the situation, because he's stuck in that addiction, in that territory. So of course, why I'm saying why I'm saying this is for your sake, because I want you to also make sure that you grieve the situation and that you are able to, not, you don't have to fully let it go obviously, but like keep enough space to where you can also care about yourself, because it's hard. Like it is super hard hearing like these types of things, and especially like it is a space, a mental space for Danny that is so negative that it's just hard. You know what I mean? Any addiction is hard. I would know. Like I said, I myself am also an addict. Um, no, I'm not gonna say formally, because I'll always be that way in certain ways, but it's rough for us to be sober. It's not gonna last. You know what I mean? When you're forced to, it's not gonna last unless you seek that shit out yourself. Unless you seek that shit out yourself. It's just like that. Yeah. I know you've already learned that, like, there's nothing to argue about. There's nothing to even talk about in that situation. It just makes you, when you think about it, it does make you feel sad. So that's why I'm saying make space for yourself to feel those emotions. Don't shut it out. You're allowed to be angry and feel upset. All of that. He far away, arm's distance, a football field away. Still, he's too close. Obviously, it's too close. You're hearing about it, right? So that's why I'm gonna remind you and keep reminding you of, like, feeling for yourself. Okay. I'm going to keep reminding you. I'm going to keep reminding you. I want to keep reminding you. Okay? I want to keep reminding you. Did you have any other questions on it, Roha? Do you have any other questions on it? And then anybody else who's in chat, then I'll chat with y'all. I'll see what's going on with y'all and do some questions for y'all. So sad for him. One of the satellite loves in my life. Yeah, it's fucked up because terrible, terrible mental health on this one. But what can you do other than hope? In a way, wish that he gets better. Hope that he gets better. But then at the same time, keep holding that space for you. Does he miss you? He misses the opportunities you gave him. Like, I feel like, yeah. He misses the opportunities you gave him. Because I feel like you, to some degree, convinced him to take care of himself. So he misses that part of it. In any relationship, though, all I can see is that he self-sabotages so much that there's nothing that you can do. Not truly. Like, in terms of the relationship, I just see somebody who's a user. You know what I mean? I see a user. See, like, oh, I want to be taken care of, I want to be held, but then I also don't want to take responsibility for anything. So it's like the opportunity is what he misses. It's like the opportunity of being near you, and like you just said, he missed my mom had exactly that. Exactly that. It's on some fuck shit. It's on some fuck shit. And you really did try your hardest. So, like I said, I applaud you for that. That is on some crazy shit. But you did try your hardest. So hold space for it. Don't, like I said, Hold space for your emotions. It was a part of your life. So, all right, let me change the music here. Only one side, yeah, because it's hard because like there can be love. Of course, there can be love there. Like, of course, there can be love there, but love is always overshadowed by the addiction. It just always is because you're selfishly choosing something where you're shutting down and shutting out your emotions. Like, it fucks up your emotional intelligence to the point to where you don't care no more. You just don't care how it's affecting other people around you. You don't care if you're hurting anybody. You're doing it for you, not for anybody else. And so that, in a way, it's like some fucked up, jaded sense of self care that you feel like you have to do in order to survive. And then this other person that you're with who is not an addict, or maybe was at one point, or maybe tries to understand you and understand where you're at, you constantly harm that person by being as defensive and scared as you are of losing that addiction. So it sounds some fuck shit. We can go around and around and around about this shit, but most importantly, I really do always take space for yourself. Hearing about it, seeing it, you're always gonna do that. You know what I mean? It was a part of your life that I feel like has marked a part of your growth. So I want you to keep that heart open, essentially, because it was a part of your life at some point. But also you learn to walk alone from that situation, and you learn how to heal different pieces of yourself. And there's always going to be hurt in that situation too, but just putting it out there that you want somebody to do better, essentially, is really what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, do better, but also stay out my life. Like, let me keep my life clean. Let me grow. Let me move on, type situation. So, who did I see? Ronald. He said, "Do you have a connection with Santa Marta?" A connection with? I do not. I do not. However, if you would like me to speak to any spirits or anything like that to some degree, I can. And you said, "Can I ask about my future career?" Online astrology says a lot of positive things, like I'm going viral. Say, so you want to ask about your career? I got you. If you're still here, let me know you're still here in the chat, and then I'll hit you. Of course, Roja. Of course. Now I'm the baby who needs care. See, baby, you on your healing journey. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So Rano, you want to know what's up. You want to know what your future is looking like in the career zone. Let's see. What's your life looking like in the career zone? Okay, so they already talk about you being able to support other people through the work that you do. So feel to me, and this is just like, it feels to me similar to a counselor. Okay, it feels to me similar to a counselor. Obviously, you always have a choice in how you counsel people, how you teach people, how you lead people. You always have a choice in that. Okay, so there's never going to be a situation where you don't have a choice. You have to go into a medical field or in this field or in that field. There's never ever going to be a choice that's made for you. Spirit does not make those choices. Okay, astrology doesn't make those choices either. It's just how you use your gifts in your heart for others, and also how you use it for yourself. Okay, like there's a mutual satisfaction to it, right? There's a mutual exchange. So yeah, they do talk about an industry that will require you to somewhat counsel people. Hey, Aquarian Starseed, what's going on with you? And yes, there is time for you. Just beware. We kind of we bouncing around. I am doing some free readings. So if you're patient, I come back around. You already know. But yeah, so Ronald, I pick up on you being somebody also who heals couples specifically, like healing in love, like so matrimony is what I pick up on. So this could be, dealing with marriages to some degree, fixing marriages to some degree, or it could also be building like more trust with between partners. Like this would be couples counselor to some degree, definitely to do with love or romance or understanding your partner more or diving into that side where it's like you want couples to feel like you know actually together versus working apart. So this is another interesting situation. I feel like where you could be in any zone to do with like family values. You have a strong sense of connection with those who want to try it to do better and best by themselves, and for their partner. You have like just a strong sense of like duty with it. Okay, it's like being better parents. It's especially like one thing I see is like trying to teach people how to be better parents. Okay, so it could be to do with children as well, familial. Like I said, yeah, teaching people how to be grown. Like I said, teaching them how to be grown in their emotions. It's not necessarily about being grown like in a financial way or a stability way, though those are things that are important as well. It's just teaching people how to be grown within their emotions. Like, how do you respect one another? How do you love one another in an appropriate way? How do you, make compromise between you and your partner? How can you, avoid putting the trauma on your children? that type of situation. Okay, that is the type of situation. And no, you are not running out of time to figure out what you do. You just pick a seed and plant it. I know that's really what it is. You pick a seed and you plant it. You could do anywhere across the board with that type of healing would help. Okay, would help, and you would also receive the financial benefit of that. Okay, that's all across the board. Doesn't matter how you started, which direction you started. I know that can get confusing because then you're like, well, there's so many directions that I could go, but it's what you're most passionate about. It's what you're most driven about. Okay, even creating your own business in that. It's what you're most passionate about. It's what it is. Truth be told, the humanitarian side of you is just like that strong. It is just that strong. It's not that you're like trying to buy people's love or, change people's opinions of you. What you want to do is work on them, with them. Okay? So it's like, it's not really about me. It's just about how I, like I said, can give people the tools. The tools to heal, the tools to grow, and become better people. That's what it is. You're a psychologist. You're so good. Thank you. I appreciate it. But the self, I feel like it can be a really self-isolating journey, because what happens when you need that type of closure, when you need to take your own advice but kind of forget down the line where you're like, oh shit, like I just gave this person advice. Like, I think a good step for you to kind of like also balance yourself when you're dealing with these types of situations is definitely to keep yourself engaged with hobbies at home. So whether that be a hobby of arts or a hobby of creativity, a hobby of music, whatever the situation may be, it's just something you do for yourself to give back to yourself in these moments. Because sometimes it doesn't feel very rewarding, right? When you're dealing with a lot of these situations, sometimes it doesn't feel rewarding. It feels bittersweet. And so, in order to not take those things home, in order not to de-stress and basically like deacclimate from work, because what you want to be able to do is separate your life from your work and from your endeavors of healing others. What you want to do is make space for yourself. So whatever hobby that may be, writing, drawing, music, so sometimes you can start a whole business on the side type shit with what you do. And I feel like you're one of those people as well, multifaceted, multi-talented. Yeah, they said two people in one. They talk about Gemini here, two people in one, or the twins in some type of way. Gemini can also mean that you're doing something in heavy like communication, maybe maybe when you do come home, your hobby is also just to communicate with others. It is a thing of like, maybe you just want to decompress by, you know, being in a space to where you can freely communicate and tell your real opinions. Talk about your real self type shit. Who you really are. Who you really are. Let people know who you really are. Okay? Because people are only getting motherfucking crazier. And I mean that with all due respect. And you do need, like I said, space to have for yourself. Okay? It's exactly what you should be doing, girl. All right, who else is up in here? Is Aquarian Starseed still here? Is Kanan still here? Tamara or Tamara? I don't know which pronunciation it is, Tamara or Tamara. Let's say Tamara. Who's still here? Just post up in chat whatever your question was. Whatever your question was. Luca's here. Okay. Yep. Post your question. I never seen you before. If I have seen you before, then go to my description below to see the price list, just so that we can give the people that have never been here a little bit of a chance at my energy, so I can check them up. Tomorrow, Kelsey's here. I'm good. Thank you, Kelsey. Go ahead and post up questions, and I'll peep them for you. Will you meet your boyfriend? Hater. I think I'm saying that correctly. Hater. Will you soon meet your boyfriend? Your man. Let's see. Meet your boyfriend. So Luca. So looks like your boyfriend struggles with financial instability, right? Financial instability. There is like a reliance on family to some degree. I do feel like this person, because they have financial instability, you will not get to meet them soon. I would give it some time. Okay. I would give it a little time, because it does feel like this person is kind of, I'm not going to say they're directionless. I'm not going to say hater is directionless, but I would say still that this individual is kind of lacking clarity in the financial area on how they're going to get the money or receive the money in order to get to you, to see you, to be around you. I feel like this person is very protective of their personal life, their private life. They're very protective of you. I do see that this situation is kind of a minor setback. I feel like they struggle a little bit with the being grown, I guess. Being grown or being adulting, okay, is what they struggle with. Meaning they struggle with financial instability because maybe they're a little loose with their money. They're not very good at their money. The money situation is crazy. Okay, so they're gonna need to fix that before they come and see you, before they make any paths to come and see you. I do feel like to some degree hater does lie about their stability because they don't want to look like a bum. However, I am letting you know right now that this individual has no fucking money. And I'm not gonna say they a bum or anything like that, but I am gonna say that this person is just unstable. Okay, and so it's gonna take some time for them to see you. Okay, it's gonna take some time. I do see a plan there of wanting to. However, it's not happening right this minute. Okay, I just signed up for college. I want my business I'm starting. What do you see for that? All right, let's see. You just started college. Congratulations. Yes, I feel like he lied. He does lie. Like I said, he lies about instability. He don't have shit. And he doesn't have a job either. Okay, Luca, he does not have a job. He's unemployed. So I'm just letting you know that's exactly what it is. If you can overlook that, that's great. If this is something that you need to have more conversations about, I would have those conversations before you put yourself in a situation where you're paying for him to come see you type shit, because he needs to be stable. Like that's I feel like that needs to be a requirement. But yes, so I see if I can get a chance to connect with your reading. Okay, then go ahead and post the question. Go ahead and post the question. So let's see. Aquarian Starseed in and I'll hit you tomorrow. So, sign up for college. What do I see for that? I see like some restless nights. Some restless fucking nights. I see you studying hard, working very hard, being very, very, very into what you're doing. I do see some like financial loss here. Obviously, that comes with starting school. You're gonna have to be like penny pinching a little bit. They do talk about this being more of a, it's a passion project. However, I don't feel like you're doing anything wrong by doing this. They talk about the industry. Okay, they talk about the industry. They talk about this being something that could be very profound as long as you follow through with it. They want you to follow through. They do feel like this is like connected to your personal satisfaction, is connected to your personal goals. So they want you to finish this. You know what I mean? I could see, okay, so there's something to do with like generational curses here. Maybe it could be talking about the potential where like a lot of people in your family maybe didn't get the chance or hesitated on their journey of really what they truly wanted to do with themselves. And I feel like that is something that you're going to break with this action. You're going to struggle a little bit with the social aspect, the social life. It does feel like because you're putting so much time and resource into school that it's gonna like feel sometimes like you can't float above school, like school, back to back, finances, back to back. However, this does not mean you can't make time for it. Okay, and I feel like this is gonna be hard, a little bit difficult, okay, because you're gonna be like, okay, well, I have to study, I have to do this, I have to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying to be loose about studying and going back to school, but I am going to say that you require a little bit of a social life yourself. Okay, you independent. Okay, you independent. You miss independent. You are an individual. However, you need a social life. So I feel like you're gonna make some friends up in that bitch. Okay, there's something to do with like finding a family even there. You just have that type of personality, though. You do have that type of personality. Right? You're gonna find a little family. You know what I mean? That is what it is. You're gonna find a little family, or build one. Okay, you're gonna build one because you just kind of find those things automatically. That's just how you are. You get drawn to it. You're like, damn, like this is really strange, but that's exactly how it's gonna be. You'll find your little family. I would pick up on a Cancer, a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Okay. Okay, Rano. All right. So, who else did I see? Okay, Tamara. Let's see. May I expect changes in my love life this year? I am single. Thank you for clarifying. Changes in your love life. Insecurities, mental health. Okay. I think the changes are going to actually be personal versus being who approaches you for relationships. Okay. These are going to be personal changes that you're making on yourself and improvements you're making in your insecurities. Okay. It's hard because I could see here that you really, Tamara, you're really focused on finding the person that is going to be right for you in terms of like status, financial status, being able to keep themselves afloat while also like to some degree keeping a relationship afloat. not everyone's in the same place at the same time as you. Not everyone is healing in the same place, same time as you. And I know you understand that. However, I feel like with some of these men that you're meeting, they may not be so understanding of that. Thank you, Rano. They may not be so understanding of that situation. Okay. I pick up Tamara, I pick up on old connections potentially bugging out your new connections, where you might find that a lot of these people are similar to older connections that you've had or people that you talked to before, and it might turn you off like instantly or immediate. However, you still hold out hope. You know that there's going to be temptation in the situation. You also know that, you know, a lot of people are attracted to you. That's a no-brainer. Okay. They talk about you're going to need a little bit of help with bringing down your walls. It's hard to find somebody that can just do that for you. It's something you kind of like naturally have to do for yourself. Allowing people in, you know what I mean? I think it's you kind of view it as like, I have to protect myself, I have to shield myself, Tamara. But at the end of the day, right, I do believe that just because you start catching feelings and you start talking to somebody, it doesn't mean that you're fully in. You know what I mean? You have the capability of holding yourself like responsible enough to back away from the situation if you feel like it's not right for you. You know, if you feel like you're being used, okay, and abused. You're no longer the child that gets used and abused by other people, and people could just have free range of you and you as a person. You've built up such a confidence in being able to tell, you know, people who you are and what you're about, and you've also built up confidence enough to protect yourself. Explaining these different types of things, like socializing about them and letting people know, like, you don't have to go deep into the trauma. You just tell people where you're at. You just gotta be like, I've been through a lot. You know, this is hard, you know, for me to open up and communicate to somebody, but I want to be able to communicate, and I want to be able to you know, receive that love. Okay. You're going to have people that push your buttons, and you already know that, but also it's triggering. It's really, really triggering. It's still insanely triggering now. It always will be, but, you know, I think the way that you view it now, it should change just a little bit this year, because I think that it, you know, I think you can, in a way, I think it's just pity. You know what I mean? Like you hold pity for people where you're like, damn, it's so sad that this person thinks that they can, you know, get one up on me or be this way towards me. It's really fucking sad. And I think you should continue to view it that way. It's like, these people are sad. They're childish. They're in a really bad space mentally, emotionally. They are not ready for commitment. And you, like I said, you can shut those things down. I know you can. There's lessons behind it all. It feels like sometimes, and other times it just feels like a waste of time. And anytime you hit that point where you're just like, I'm still looking for other people, like I'm still looking, like you might have met someone real nice, real cool, but you're still looking outside of that. That's a sign to you that you're not satisfied with the individual that you are dealing with, or that you are talking to. Like I said, in talking stages, talking phases, I see a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or a Sagittarius, Leo, or a Aries. Jesus, maybe it is an Aries, because I don't know why I forgot that shit. Or an air sign, so Aquarius, Gemini, or a Libra. Okay, so might be older than you, but that does not necessarily mean wiser. Some of these folks. I also see a Scorpio in there too. So there's a Scorpio. You have plenty of options. It's just about how you approach the idea of a relationship. Because you're going to be stubborn. You're going to be like, well, I only need myself, really, truly, truth be told. But in order to open up to the relationship side of things and the love side of things, moving forward in 2026, you're going to be, you know, soft enough to where people can get a little bit of an image of you, but not so soft that you're giving yourself all away. Okay? That's what I see. So next up, who else did I see? So we saw Got Tamara. We call Tamara. Is if avoidant is having another or is having other third party. Kanan, are you talking about an individual that you're dealing with romantically? And Hans Coco, you definitely can ask a question. You can. Um, are you dealing with somebody romantically, Kanan, that you believe is in a third party situation? Just clarify for me. It's a little bit difficult to read. I'm not judging your fucking spelling or anything like that. Of course, Tamara. I keep changing your name, Tamara or Tamara. I hope you like that shit. Because I can't make a decision myself. Hopefully one of them's correct. So, how do my colleagues feel about me at work? I feel pretty invisible at work because everyone knows each other, and I feel like it's tough to connect with them. Even in my team, my colleague bosses are friends outside of work, and I just feel like a third wheel in my own team. What can I do? I did get my decks, Malibu. I did get my decks. I've been using them. Here's the first, right? Here's the first. Here's the second. Whoop. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your support as always. And I love the new decks. They're fucking awesome. Definitely my vibe as well. Because you know I've been using a lot of black and red and a lot of black and gold. So you already know. And this one's got gold foil. This one's got black and red foil. So you already know. You already know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, Hans, dealing with a work situation. Okay. What do they think of you? Is the first kind of like question, crash course that we'll go through. And then I'll kind of continue down the line a little bit. And I'll hit whoever else, like I said, afterward. So, just be patient, y'all. Just be patient. What do they think about you? Okay. I mean, because you are kind of like almost a timid person. I don't think you're too timid. Like, I do feel like to some degree they are making it awkward because they just are that way. Like, it feels like there's a secret that you're not in on type situation. Like, what is the secret? Hopefully it's not me. It makes you overthink quite a bit. Okay, you overthink quite a bit, Hans. You overthink because you're like, well, what is going on here? Like I said, I don't think you're such a shy person that I feel like you are, not enough to communicate to them. I definitely feel like you try your best. I also pick up on the fact that they are, to some degree, the individuals you're talking about are like business partners to some degree, or that's what it feels like. It is a more peaceful. It's something that you have to get used to because it's like it can be a peaceful workspace. Okay, it is a peaceful workspace. What is it? They think about you. They feel like, well, first of all, they do recognize that you're, you have a certain type of personality. It doesn't mean they don't vibe with you. It just really feels like, you kind of are an chronic overthinker, and maybe they even see that through your work, or, yeah, they see that through your work. They see that through your work. They also see. What do they see? Come on now. Okay. So what they do say, so they don't see anything negative. Okay, Hans? They don't see anything negative. They're not excluding you on purpose. That's not what's happening. Okay. It is taking them time as well to adjust to you, and I think that just needs to kind of be a conscious thing. It takes them a while to adjust to new people in this workspace because for whatever reason it's more closed space. It always kind of has been. That's why they like know each other. They got to know each other. It's always kind of been more of a closed space. how can you improve this is what we're going to look for next. How can you improve the communication between you and your co-workers, your members? How can you? How can you? So even if you're just asking questions about the job, even if you're just asking questions, they talk about asking questions, even though already know the answer. Double checking with these individuals. They talk about you start up conversation through those things. Like I feel like just as much as you want to kind of jump out your skin at this situation, Hans, they also do. It's the same type of situation. It's like a back and forth. They're the same way, really. That's how they feel about it. It's like they're the same way. It's where like they're kind of uncomfortable by somebody else's presence. They don't know how to include them in on it. So it kind of just that closeness shows, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. But then they're also uncomfortable where they're just like, let's do what we usually do at work. That's kind of the situation. But they're not a foe or anything like that. They don't see you as anything bad. They do see you as a help. Yeah, they do see you as someone who helps. You just gotta shoot your shot again. This is a situation where you're gonna have to stop self-isolating, okay? Because you are self-isolating by not allowing yourself the chance to, communicate with them. Ask for help is what they're saying. Ask for help, even if you don't really mean it. It's more just like a connection to allow them in and allow them near you. Allow them into your bubble, into your space. Ask for help. Like, hey, can you help me with this? I need a little help with this. I feel like the communication will pick up from there. Yeah. Communication will pick up from there. Inquire about a couple things around the workplace. To them particularly. Or one of them in particularly. There's one that is not only louder than the other, but is far more opinionated, and I feel like they're silly or humorous in some type of way. Like they pick up on like passive aggressive sarcasm or something like that with this one individual that you're working with, and they say that's the best one to approach. Actually, that's the best one to approach. Don't feel intimidated. They're not talking about you or anything like that. It's not happening. So, what else we got? What's Sailor's darkest, deepest secret? Wait, hold on. Before I get to that, I want to do Kanan. Kanan, you've been waiting for a minute. So Kanan, are you still here? Or hopefully you're still here. I'm gonna still hit you with it. So if is the person you're dealing with a third party, is what you're asking about. Like, is this person dealing with other people? All right, Kanan. Is this person dealing with other people? Yes. There is a third party. The big queen, the reverse. There is a third party. You are exactly right, Kanan. 4 baskets. So the reason why there's a third party is because this person feels like you're too hard to get to. Not that your standards are too high, it's just you're too hard to get to or communicate with to some degree, and they kind of make it your fault, which is crazy, Kanan. That is because it's not your fault that this person is so bad at communicating. It's not your fault, okay? However, that's how they view it. Okay, there is a third party situation. There is a person that they are dealing with, and you cannot trust this person. Okay, you cannot trust them because they are non-committal. Okay, they are non-committal. They have met somebody else. There is a third party situation, and there is going to be petty drama because of it. So what you really have to do, I feel like, with this connection is stomp on that shit. Stomp on that shit. Don't allow that shit in. Don't allow that shit to dictate how you move forward, okay? Don't allow this person's feelings to dictate how you move forward, because at the end of the day, like I said, the person you're dealing with is a shitty fucking communicator. They're a shitty communicator unless they want something, is what I pick up on, Kanan. And what they want, from what I see, is a sexual relationship, okay? And they want to be free. They want to, be out and about. There's a third party situation. So if that's confirmation for you, that's confirmation. That's what's going on. So, and then now, Rano, what is Sayla's darkest, deepest secret? Let's use one of these new decks. Darkest. I gotta eat my coffee, my water. Right after this read. Darkest, deepest secret. Sayla's darkest, deepest secrets. Swords. Fear. Fear of what? Fear of change. The darkest, deepest secret with this individual is fear of change. There still feels like Sayla is still using a lot of different excuses, okay? Sayla is still using a lot of excuses. Sayla has not changed. Yeah, Sayla has not changed. This individual is... They're childish. They want to be taken care of. They feel like, if anything, they feel like they're owed the opportunity to be, using somebody like you, regardless of whether this was a romantic or a friendship. Doesn't matter. They feel like they have the right to use other people in some degree. They just do. The darkest, deepest secret is that this person is childish, like extremely set back in their mind, like a kid. Like, just reminds me of a kid, a child. That's the darkest, deepest secret, is that this person is childish. Darkest secret. Yeah, there's something to do with like this person also not knowing who they are identity wise. There's something that like that popping up. Identity is popping up. Yeah. Identity is popping up hard. This person judges people for identity. I pick up on like same-sex connections or same-sex attraction. Okay, Rano, I pick up on same-sex attraction. That is another darkest, deepest secret. Same-sex attraction. That's what's going on. Oh, shit. I did not mean to do that. Malibu, did you have a question for me? Yep. Rhino, that's what's going on. The same-sex attraction. Identity issues, questioning identity, questioning sexuality, as well as the fact that this person is still a child. They're still childish in their mind. They still have so much growth to do. They act mature. To a degree, they act mature, but that maturity is really like a cover or defense mechanism for what's going on deeper. And they won't tell anybody. So they just won't tell anybody. This is not one of those like live in the truths type situation. This person, they refuse to. They don't want to. They're afraid of living their truth. Because if they do, they'll be judged by family for it. If that makes sense, Ronald. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. Sad shit, man. A little water here. I have to go get me a green tea. Get yourself a green tea. Hi, Katra. Yeah. I got me some Propel. I got the strawberry kiwi Propel. I do like tea occasionally, but I'm so coffeeed out. Like I love coffee. I could have so many cups a day, an unhealthy amount of cups a day. How are you doing? Can I ask a question? I'm doing well. How are you? Yes, you can ask a question. I've never seen you here before, so shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Excuse me. Got me some butterscotch. Thought of you. Hell yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Did not mean to hit that. It's probably very loud. Hell fucking yeah. You got yourself some butterscotch. I love me butterscotch and red hots. It's the old motherfucker in me. The old lady in me touch shit. Nah, I was raised by an old woman. Of course I love butterscotch. Love your attitude, great energy. Thank you, Katra. Go ahead, ask your question. I'm curious what you want to ask. And if you do something like where you're like, oh, I want to generate, I don't really know what to ask, then please, please by all means, make it a specific piece of your life, love, finances, da 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 da. So ask your question. I don't need anything from you other than the question. Other than the question. I don't need no dates. I don't need your birthday. I don't need none of that shit. I'll read you fulfilled regardless, okay? And like I said, sometimes it be like this, right? Some people, they vibe with the energy and they're like, okay, I like a motherfucker that can tell it to me straight. And other times people are like, well, no, I don't like this. I hate this. In fact, I don't like when people rip off my bandage, right? I do it softly. Softly, if that exists. Okay? I do it softly. However, it still happens. You know what I mean? It can be uncomfortable. It is a live stream, so people are just all sorts of like, I don't even want to resonate with that shit. But it happens, you know what I mean? And I don't read none of the bullshit where people are like, when is my soulmate coming in? Da da da. Like, I'll answer you a real question of like, when is the next potential partner coming in? But we don't do none of the bull that all these other readers do. No shade to them, but it's a bullshit. Okay. Which means all the shade. Truth be told, that means all the shade. Okay. Because if you can't just read straight and read real and stop making bullshit up, I'm not saying soulmates are a made up idea. Maybe it's real. But also at the same time, I'm gonna read from a real perspective, a realistic perspective, so I can help you grow. Cause I'm not worried about no motherfucking soulmate growth. I'm worried about you grow. I want to see you grow. You're the person that I want to grow. When you come to me and you ask me something, cause you ask my energy for help type shit, I'm gonna help you. I'm not here for the fucking soulmate. Okay. Okay, maybe you are in a connection and you want to know more and how you can help with that situation. I can help with that too. But we ain't talking about no motherfucking twin flame and no soulmate. When is my next partner coming in? When is my next boyfriend coming in? My next girlfriend? My next wife? Or my next wife? Damn, y'all. My next husband coming. Whatever the situation may be. It don't matter. Who, what, when, where, why, how, it don't matter. Let's get into it. Thank you, Malibu, for reminding folks. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can get that algorithm, so everybody can get a little piece type shit. And then also at the same time, so you can come back and see me type shit. I'm moving forward with my 13-year-old son. He's focused and I'm focused. Heard you loud and clear. So you're moving forward. What is it that you seek? You're moving forward. Progressive energy. Progressive energy. I'll start flipping some cards. Relationship. Parenting. You were wrong for this. I need your help. I need your help to understand. I need you to accept. I want to know how I can be there for you. I want to know how I can protect you and help you heal. Yeah, I see it. So, what is your question? Some people are like, well, I have so many. We can go down the we will go down the rabbit hole, okay? We will go down the rabbit hole. Excuse me. Let me move this cord out of the way. If y'all start hearing the mic act up, just let me know. Just keep moving it around. Ooh. Son's father came home not too long ago. Okay. All right. Are you trying to know how your son is feeling, or what to expect from the situation? What would you expect the dynamic to look like? He hasn't been in his life, has a relationship, or had a relationship with my son, so complicated as fuck, right? What is the motive? Hey, bye, Capricorn. What's going on? Okay, Castro, you said, what is the motive here? Why is he really here? Is really what you're asking. All right. So, okay. So, here's what I pick up on. There is a with him with the father, right? I do detect pain of loss, of not being there, right? I do detect that. That's like a under the surface type of, okay, yeah, he's my son, he's my kid. I was too stupid. I was too blind to see it type shit. I was too blind to you know approach him as a father. I was too fucking stupid to do so, right? I just keep picking up on this. Like, I would rather be free. Okay? I would rather be free than to be involved with his life. Rather be free to live my life and do what I want to do than to be in his life, right? That was the initial feeling that I got. It was like, okay, well, just because he's my son doesn't mean I can't live. It's like something real selfish like that. It is down like a selfish pipeline of, like I said, I would be very fucking offended and irritated with this individual. he doesn't even believe that it's his son. To some degree. It's like, is this really mine? Type situation. He wasn't even there to watch him grow. So, like, motherfucker, like, technically, he's my, like, I pick up on you being like, well, technically, he's my son. So it's like, yeah. It's like, you weren't there to watch this child grow. You weren't there for all the moments that this child needed you. Why the fuck? Why the fuck do you feel like you can judge that perspective? Or you can be like, sit there and be like, yeah, well, I don't even know if he's my son. Like, you're nasty for that. You're so nasty for that. I pick up on him. There was some type of relationship he had with a woman that I think kind of put it into perspective for him. She had her own child or her own kids or something of that nature. Maybe it is his kid, maybe it isn't. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it put some things into perspective for him on how he should show up, how he should be. Maybe he is still in that relationship. I'm not quite sure, but it kind of looks like that he is. Thank you, bye Capricorn. I appreciate your support. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. Okay. I can see it. Okay, so he does want a relationship with him. I do believe that's his genuine intention. Okay, that's his genuine intention. That is his genuine intention. He at least wants some sort of a friendship. And this is like fucked up because, like I say, you're the father, motherfucker. He wants to know him. Okay, that is his intention and why he is there. That is why he is there. He wants to know him. And I feel like whoever he's with right now is the person who convinced him to do that. It wasn't because he wanted to do it. It's because that person actually was like, you need to know your son. Like that's some crazy shit. Like you need to know your kid. Like that's on some crazy shit. So initially he didn't want to do it. Okay. Initially he wanted to leave it where it was at. But obviously he says something, otherwise he wouldn't be there, right? Obviously he says something about potential son, otherwise he wouldn't have been there. However, I just keep picking up on this idea that like whatever paranoia of the past is still affecting him now, like paranoia of you cheating, of you being this person or this monster or this way, that way. Like he himself was a monster. So I feel like he punished you. He punished you through his addictions. So now you're sitting here and you're like, what has healed? What has changed? And I feel like the one thing that has changed is whatever this relationship he's in right now has stabilized him to a degree. It's like you had one chance to show up and you never showed up. So I'm just going to let you know that he is there for the right reason. He is a ignorant piece of shit for what he did. And how I think you should practice this relationship is exactly how you've been doing, which is, yes, staying very protective of your son. Staying there and being his emotional support, as well as making sure that he is being treated fairly in this situation. Be protective. Okay? Be protective. Okay? Allow him to open up and reach out in a way that he feels comfortable. Let him set the standard. You okay? Because the moment that he gets burned by the situation, from what I see, there's a lot of... Your son is a very, like, particular cat, okay? He's a very particular cat. He's not going to like him. He's very, very honest, okay? He's very honest. He's not going to like him. You know what I mean? That part is already set. Like there is so much work that his father needs to do in order to really become a true part of his life. But even then, I don't think it's ever going to mend that system right there of being a father and son. It's going to be more like a friend. Of like at least at the end of the day, you can communicate with him occasionally. You know, when he feels like it, type shit. But your son sets the fucking standard in that situation. Okay. You are already doing the right thing by allowing it, allowing that space for him to figure it out. Okay. You're already doing your work. It is so much so a thing of like, your son is like, I never needed him in the first place. But, Katja, that to some degree he needs him. So it's like very complicated because there's this whole complex relationship of like, yes, I am your mother and I understand that you do not, like you want nothing to do with him. However, he is your father. So even if you're knowing his half of the family or his side of things, right? His side of things, I want you to have that experience, which good on you, girl. I'm very proud of you for that, for acknowledging that. I'm very proud of you for acknowledging that. That's very cool. Very cool. You're awesome. You're awesome for that. But you're also his protector at the end of the day. So anytime he is an ignorant piece of shit, You could say and protect your son because your son is a minor. He's 13 years old. However you want to protect your son. It's just that simple. You can pull your son. You can pull your son aside and be like, he's making you uncomfortable. He's making you feel this way. He's making you feel that way. Have those conversations of like, okay, so what is it that obviously what is it that bother you about what your father said? Da 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 da. ABC, and you get to set the standard of whether you want him in his life. Still, you're proctoring it. You know what I mean? You're the teacher in the background of like, okay, so this is how we do not communicate, and this is how we do communicate. Okay. And I know you're going to feel that lean of like wanting to take your son's side in a lot of these situations because he's stubborn. He's just like you, right? He is your son. Very much so your son, right? However, I hate saying this. Playing it fairly is how you want it to go. Just fairly. Giving him a fair chance. Okay? A fair chance. It doesn't have to be a big one. Your son, like I said, sets that standard of what type of relationship he has with him. When arguments go down, when things get rough, because it always will, because of the type of father that he's had thus far, which is nothing, right? It will go down. He already has a bad taste in his mouth. You know what I mean? You told him the truth, and he earned the truth. But you're going to have to let them argue it out. Okay? Your son is not a man right now. You know, he's a boy. But there is certain things that I feel like he can stand up for himself for. And you're going to feel like you're going to want to get in there and fight for him. But he can fight for himself. And when he asks you for that help, when your son is like, listen, mom, like, I can't do this shit no more. Or listen, mom, like, this is what's going down. That is when you step in. Okay? That is when you step in. From what I see, I can understand. See, there's so many situations like his father is still in a position to where he's unstable. I feel like the woman he's with is the stable one in terms of like the financial situation. So there's like so many different like complexities to the situation. He is still unstable. Okay, he is still unstable in the financial zone. He's still fucking unstable. He still hasn't found what the fuck he's supposed to be doing with his life. Though I do believe to a degree he's clean. I don't know if that's a worry, but he is clean. The woman he's with has done so much work, has raised him practically. Even if you got to have conversations with the woman that he's with, because that's also important too. It's letting her know your boundaries of like, you do not step into this situation. This is not something that you proctor. This is not something you're going to sit there and try to micromanage. Just as my son, right? He uses her. Yes. And like I said, he has no financial support. So who the fuck else would he be using, right? It's bittersweet. It's so bittersweet. It is so fucking bittersweet. I can see you sitting here like, I fucking hate this shit, but you know it's important to him. It's the only reason why you're putting it out there. And like I said, I'm very proud of you for that. Because it takes a lot. Because you're sidestepping a lot of your trauma with this motherfucker. Not ignoring it, but you're sidestepping it just for the purpose of allowing this to happen, allowing him to perceive him in the way that he wants to perceive him. Okay? Allowing him to see the truth. Even though that hurts, and you don't want your son to feel disappointed and hurt, you need to allow that to happen, because essentially what happens is when the father is never there, he never gets to grieve that relationship. He never gets to know. And so he searches for it in other places, in the wrong places, right? And then gets himself hurt and burned. So essentially what what your son needs is these moments. Even if there's mistakes made, even if there's egregious mistakes made, which you won't allow that shit to happen. But I'm just saying, even if there is situations to where his father disappoints him, otherwise he will go out and find it in another place that is the wrong place. A place where he can truly get hurt. And that's exactly why it just needs to happen in this way. Right? So, yes. Your baby's father is a ignorant piece of fucking crap. A piece of shit. He's anxious about this. He's scared about this. Like I said, he's having normal human emotions, which is, hey, you know, what can you do? He is anxious about this. He is wanting to be a part of it. So we allow it to happen. We give him the space. You set the boundaries. Any of those boundaries stepped over, and it's done. I watch everything and make sure you're a good mom. You're a very good mom. You're a very good mom. I can see that. I can see that. Like you set peace as a standard in your household type shit. Like anything that needs to be aired out, anything that needs to be talked about, you talk about it. And like I said, you're a very good mom. Like I said, you set peace as a standard in your household of like, we're not going to have we're not going to sit here and linger and have all of these like negative emotions and fucked up feelings. We're going to talk about all of them. Like, because this is something that needs to happen. We need to talk about everything that's going down. You're not leaving your son in a blind spot, which, like I said, you're a very good mom for that. Hi, Miss Billy. Miss Billy. Hi, Mr. Charlie. Thank you so much, Katra. Very good reading, very good energy. I'm very spiritual. I can tell. I would not have been able to read you as well as I did, or even tune in as much as I did if you weren't. I can tell. I definitely can tell. You have that type of energy, very healing energy about you. Your past, I picked up on your past significantly too, and in your past with woman haters, okay? And you know what I mean by that, of just woman haters, of dealing with men like this. You learned to fear them less. You learn through your own relationship with this guy and other people as well that there's nothing to fear there. It's all childish fucking fucked up behavior. Through your own, working through your own abuse has not been easy. You know what I mean? And having to sit here with your son and let him know the truth and try to proctor, like I said, be the teacher in this, be better than what you had. It's so important. It is so massively important. You're doing a really good job of that. I'm very proud of you, and I want you to keep going with it. It hits rocky, it hits bumpy type shit. It will. But you're raising a good son too, and you have thus far. So you keep it pushing, baby. You keep it pushing. Bye, Cappy. Thank you so much for the super chats. Let me hit a like on them super chats. Yeah, jealousy for sure. Hard to put your feminine side to the side. Yeah, and I think it's hard to sit there because it's the child in you, right? It's the child in you that you're putting. Truth be told, it's the child in you that you're putting to the side for the situation. You're putting to the side your own healing, right? Because at the end of the day, you've healed so much on your own and as an individual and spiritually and everything like that. But then you're also still dealing with the after effects, which you deal with for the rest of your fucking life. But you choose how to deal with that shit. You said 6'1", size 13. What? And he's 13 years old? Yes, he does need to be an NBA star. That's crazy. It's crazy as fuck. He definitely needs to be. Shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I can even tell how you gushing about him now. That you are a very good mom. Okay, now please ask what 2026 will have in store. Will things improve with the neighbors, you said? Okay, Mr. Charlie. Excuse me. Let me get by Cap real quick. Get by Capricorn real fast, because you said... Let me try to see. Is my Taurus sun going to be okay with the Gemini girl at this time? We moved back out of state last night. So your Taurus sun going to be okay. See, is he going to be okay? By Cap, is he going to be okay? That's why we are focused. Hell yeah. Get a catch room. Get a catch room. Get it, girl. So, by Cap, will he be okay? No. Hey, sophisticated. No, by Cap, he will not be okay. More or less, like, okay. Okay. The reason why he will not be okay is because the situation triggers him quite a bit. Mother, it reminds him of his mom or his mother to some degree. There's something to do with like old habits or something like that. They talk about him being very, very, reluctant to want to change this dynamic with this individual. He's just not going to be okay emotionally. That's really what I'm picking up on. He'll need support in that area. He'll need support. Just feels like a lot of like Tom and Jerry, cat and mouse type situation between these two. Okay. Like cat and mouse. It's like like you have to chase this person. Like he has to chase this person in order to get to an answer out of them. And he hates that shit. It puts it it puts him through the ringer. Because he knows what he deserves, and he deserves the truth. He deserves answers. He doesn't want to have to keep fighting with this individual or Tom and Jerry them. He doesn't want to have to keep chasing them. So, feel like he can resolve it, but the problem that I pick up on is that he gets too in his feelings and then he gets petty. Okay, so Taurus by Cap, Taurus sun gets petty. He just does, because it's trauma. It's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. It hurts his feelings. Again, the mommy issues are there with Taurus sun. Big time. Mommy issues. It's parental issues in general. It's mommy and daddy issues, okay? He's going to struggle. Just be ready for that phone call. He's going to struggle by Cap. He's going to struggle. Yeah, verbal altercation. Verbal altercations. He doesn't know how to take care of himself. That's kind of the problem behind all this. He just doesn't know how to take care of himself or what's best for him, oftentimes. It's hard for him to think of himself. So who else did we see? We saw Catcher. We saw by Cap. Miss Billy. I'm just trying to see. Okay. Miss Billy. What good stuff is coming this year for Miss Billy? What good stuff is coming for Miss Billy this year? Physical health. Okay, Miss Billy. Better physical health is what they're talking about. You finally get, I don't want to say it's like diagnoses, but it's more or less like you just get more, maybe it's like physical fitness. Taking care of yourself, your skin, rituals type situation. Okay, taking care of yourself. This year you start giving yourself a little bit more time to breathe. Okay, and it gives you more energy. You know, they talk about getting more energy, like physical energy. Talk about doesn't have to be prayer necessarily, but maybe it's just getting a little bit more spiritual, getting into learning about your bloodline, your background, Miss Billy. Yeah, getting into your bloodline, your background, learning more about the spiritual side of things. You know, using that in your healing journey. What else is coming? Fashion, okay, fashion forward type shit. Maybe it's like fitting into things that you didn't think you could fit into type shit. Recognizing the change in the mirror is what I pick up on as well. Recognizing the change in the mirror, of being able to just put on whatever the fuck you want to wear, look good doing that shit, little confidence, little oomph in your step, Miss Billy, little oomph in your step. Mm. Yeah, they talk about love here, self love, self love. Okay, they talk about you standing up for yourself against the freaks type shit. Something to do with like sexism, sexists. Maybe that's within your workplace, your workspace. That could, that could be anywhere in your life. But standing up against the bullshit when it comes to, you know, being a woman. Taking it seriously. So they talk about you taking it seriously when it comes to the family. They talk about you making or creating new boundaries with family. Also saying that like you letting people know that your needs aren't being met. Being honest. You're going to be observing a lot of different connections around you that you know need to change, and you're going to change them. Okay, you're going to change them by different communication, healthier communication. Yeah, they really just talk about this physical look, and anxiety to do with your physical body or your physical look, or maybe even just physical health. They talk about that in that healing. Okay, that's what's coming for you. It's healing all across the board, really, but they really harp on the physical aspect. Sophisticated. What is going on in my love life? Anyone new coming in, please, thank you. Let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Let me hit Mr. Charlie. Can I please ask what 2026 will have in store? Will things improve with the neighbors? Will things no justice, no peace? This is a card that came out. Unfortunate, but no justice, no peace. Bizarre ass people. They said bizarre ass people. Miss Billy, the payoff is beautiful. The payoff is beautiful. You're gonna feel beautiful. You're gonna feel fucking good. Okay, Miss Billy, you're gonna feel wonderful 2026. Feel beautiful. Confidence up. Hair done good. Looking in the mirror like shit. Wearing that dress or wearing whatever you wear type shit. Looking like shit. Catcalling yourself and shit. But okay, so Mr. Charlie, no, it will not improve. See, here's the thing. There's a lot of different things that kind of go into the situation. I do feel like you are having to hear all of this and be frustrated with it. I do feel like you have a lot of issues and problems surrounding you in your current living space that need to be solved, and yet like nobody moves to solve them. So whatever's going on with the neighbors, I do feel like there is a vicious cycle here that like you know Either you kind of like move away from, or you have to just kind of ignore, because it'll suck you dry if you keep feeding into it, is what they say. Stop feeding into it. Stop paying attention to it. Try to your best to ignore it, as difficult as it is. Okay. 2026 has in store, let's see. Okay, so creativity. They talk about your art. Whatever you do artistically. They talk about de-escalation as well. Being able to de-escalate. Owner and proprietor. Maybe this is sales of a property. Okay. Property is what I meant to say. See, how the dyslexia even hit my sentences. That's what I want to know. Property. Sales. Good sales. Hard to ignore when you get threatened and have to make a police report. Keep making them, babe. Keep making them. Keep making them. I know it's hard to ignore. That's exactly what I said, because it is not something that can be solved, unfortunately, just by a simple call. They're going to actually have to fucking do something, so it's out of your hands, it's out of your control, which sucks ass. But this doesn't mean this is like the main focus of 2026, okay? And I don't want to make it that so. Of course, Miss Billy. But yeah, I don't want to make that so. I want you to be able to focus on something else as well. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want you spiraling over the situation. I know it's overwhelming, and I know it fucking sucks. But don't abandon yourself into it. Don't abandon yourself into it. As much as you can, like, I can see the getting out. Okay? I could see the getting out, Mr. Charlie. I could see I could see you kind of being like, okay, yeah, fuck this situation. I'm out. It doesn't have to necessarily be a move. It could even be vacationing to some degree. Okay? To some degree is vacationing. They did show up by Cap, and I did do a reading for you. If you just click back a little bit, I did a reading for you about what you asked. Probably about what, like 5 minutes ago? Maybe a little bit more than that. 8 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. I did do your reading. But yeah, Mr. Charlie, you do have options. Make sure this is a time where you make sure you're secure. You got your cameras on your front porch type shit. Okay? Got your cameras on your front porch, and then you would feel safe enough to take a vacation. Okay? That's what I pick up on. Ring camera, I pick up on ring camera type shit. Okay? And I pick up on you being able to take a vacation for once. Like, getting out of your head. This feel to me like, I don't know if it's like a visual vacation. It feel like, to me, it might be like something like seeing something beautiful. I picked up on like seeing mountains or something. It's something to do with like the physical world. Just being able to get out and go into the physical world and be like, I can actually fucking disconnect from all of this and just have a good time and be by myself, or whoever you choose to be with, truly. Because like I said, either way, I see this whatever this whole trip is something that you are able to detach from all of the shit that you've been dealing with and essentially just live. It feels really good too. It's like a boost up. It's adrenaline. It's an adrenaline. Yeah, because you've been living very restrictively since this whole entire situation has been going down. You know what I mean? And I feel like you've earned yourself a break. I see you, like I said, I see you going on this trip for sure. I know there's like medical issues and stuff like that, or just issues going on. But however, this will not stop you or prevent you from going out. Okay? It will not stop you. It will not stop you. Yeah. Change of perspective. I see you getting silent too. 2026. I see you getting silent. You're just like, yeah, no, I'm not. You're like, I'm not even gonna fucking play into this. I see a perspective change because you get out. You boost up your fucking adrenaline, you boost up your energy, and you start feeling good and positive about this shit. This trip is for sure happening though. Yeah, I can even tell you a month here. I can tell you a little month of planning type shit. Let me tell you a month or a season type shit. Let's see. I'm gonna give you that shit. Hold on. I'm trying to fucking pull this out the pack. I can pull this shit out the pack. And shake it a little bit. Let's see. First card I pull out. Aquarius season. So that's February. It's February. Could also be beginning of March. Or maybe that's when the planning happens. Let's do another double check. If I can get this shit out. Come on now. You're being embarrassing. You're being embarrassing. Come out of the fucking package, bro. Yeah, so it's like March area. It's March. Maybe you start planning February, but it seemed like March to me that you do go on this trip. And you do get out. You get to go somewhere, see something beautiful. Just change your perspective quite a bit. You know that what you have to go back to, but at the same time, it's just a mental break. Just a break from all this shit. Just a break from all this shit. Aquarius, again, it's March. So it's like early March. Could be you plan it in Aquarius season 2, which is February. And then you go in March. My birthday's in March. Hell yeah. So you Pisces? You Pisces, Mr. Charlie? Hell yeah. Get the fuck out of there. You got your little camera and shit like that? Get the fuck up out of there. Oh shit. Drop that. They talk about music as well. Hell yeah, Mr. Charlie. You getting the hell out of there. If you haven't made a plan for it yet, make a motherfucking plan for it. The hell up out of there. Yeah, 444. Like, so many confirmation cards, too. It's just like, you need this. This is something that you need. Just to bring you a little bit of peace. Bye, cat. Oh, let me get Malibu real quick. He said, yes or no, should I reach out to the job and encompass health? Because I've applied for almost every position I could. Still no response. It started to make me mad. Let's see, Malibu. So, should you contact them? Should you contact them? Hey, Maya. Of course, Mr. Charlie. Love Pisces. Should you contact them? Father of Baskets. Well, I'm waiting. The big queen. I'm waiting. I need the fucking money. 5 of coins in the reverse. I need the fucking money. 2 coins in the reverse. There's not many options. I'm waiting on this motherfuckers. 4 of baskets in the reverse. 7 of sticks in the upright. So this is like, you feel like you're getting rejected. I'm going to say yeah. So this is what I'm going to say. It looks... Oh, thank you, Maya. I appreciate it. I did all of these tattoos when I was like between 13 and 16. I think the very last one I did was this one. 13 and 16. Thank you. So, I can see Malibu that he will say it's not ready for you yet. Or they will say it's not ready for you yet. And it's going to piss you off. Okay. Because what do you mean it's not ready for me yet? You're like, I need this job. I need this situation. I really need the fucking money. Okay, motherfucker? I feel like you start getting pissed off. Obviously, you're already pissed off, but you start getting pissed off about it. It's like, okay, move your motherfucking feet. Like, how long do I need to fucking wait? What needs to be ready for this job to become acquired? What needs to be ready? They might even be like, oh, well, we just believe, incompatible for these positions that you applied to. We're unsure, da 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 da. It's going to piss you off. It's going to piss you off. Oh, yeah. Big time. However, okay. Yeah, it's going to piss you off. That's what he said. However, and this is why I'm pre-telling you so that you don't get as pissed off. Though it will still piss you off. I would still call them. I would definitely still call them. However, the next work situation. New project. What is this? I'm so scared. I need the stability now. I need this for my bank account. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? It's mostly because I've held these positions before. Maybe they're just weary of your medical situation. But for whatever reason, I feel like the reason that they choose is just bullshit regardless. Okay. Yeah. Next work situation. Looks like, to me, it is going to be another kind of like medical work situation. Strength in the upright, 8 of 6 in the upright, 2 of S in the upright, 8 of coins in the reverse. You'll be working under a woman or women. Working under women or woman. Something to do with medical, though, still, regardless. Another thing you could get pissed off about is the pay at this new particular job. Like, they might call you, it might be like, okay, lowball you. Like I said, there's something that you get pissed off about. They're not specifying what, so I'm guessing it is something that you should just call about. Because they just won't tell me what. I keep trying to specify, but they won't let me know what you would be pissed off about necessarily. They're just not letting me know that. Like, no matter how many cards I turn, they're like, nope, motherfucker, no. And again, the card, no. I would call. Regardless. This is on your hustle and grind. There's something to do with, like, standing up and being like, boom, 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 boom. Like, I need this. I need this now. Putting it out there. Because essentially, I feel like they wouldn't even fucking look at it otherwise. It's getting ridiculous. It really is getting ridiculous. So I would rush them. Rush them. They said break the silence. Again, that card has come out, what, like 10 times now? Break the fucking silence. Call them. Yep, they said online application. Call them. Call them. Woo. Break it down, girl. Break it down. Call them Malibu. That's crazy. They just keep saying break the damn silence. You said I'll rewind later. Yes. Break the silence. Call them. Don't be afraid of the outcome. Call them. Because they're not going to look at the online application. They just keep talking about that. Not looking at it. Sophisticated. Sorry, sophisticated. I wanted to hit up Malibu. You said anything regarding to my love life. And then Maya hits you. Started lagging. I feel you. So it's only fucking confirmation of what I was saying in the first place. Basically, Malibu, which was they want you to call. And they won't give me an answer otherwise of what the actual answer on this call is going to be fucking be. They did say it was going to piss you off. Are you going to go in pissed in some type of way? They won't tell me the fucking turnout. So my guess is you just got to do it. Okay, they literally said break the silence about 10 times. I saw that motherfucking card and I shuffle. So I'm thinking that, you know, you cool. Because when spirit starts arguing with me, I start arguing with them, button heads type shit, trying to find answers, and they don't give me one, and they just keep saying we're not gonna do that. No. So yeah, you call them, apply the pressure, fire under the ass, get the truth. You deserve it. Them tats are a beautiful part of your aesthetic. Thank you. I appreciate it, by Cap. So, sophisticated regarding your love life. It's a gamble, they said. It's a gamble. They're talking about exes. Tell me more. Sophisticated. Talk about exes. Still trying to rekindle. I know you did my son question. I'll get you by Cap. Hold the phone. Let me hit these people that ain't never been here before. Then I'll circle right back around. Sophisticated. It looks like people are coming back from your past to some degree. Something to do with therapy here. There's something to do with healing here. There's something to do with a lot of fear-based relationships. And what do I mean by fear-based? I just mean whether it be fearing commitment or fearing the fact that, like, you know, you have to open up to somebody again after being burned previously or before. But they talk about, for this year, 2026, they talk about a lot of fear-based connections, fear-based relationships. It's going to feel like a lot of work, because it is a lot of work. You're doing a lot of internal work on your child, your inner child, okay? And so that you can further understand how you're going to be approaching some of these relationships, okay? It is, you are desired. Okay, you are wanted. You are loved. That is what Spirit is saying. You are desired. You are wanted and are loved. But it is not going to be the ex. Okay, it's not going to be the ex. You've already freed yourself from that situation. To try and repeat that situation, you're going to get triggered. Okay, even as a physical relationship, even as a sex. Okay, you won't get triggered. You already know that. They're really pushing this idea that, like, you are never going to be like somebody that somebody doesn't want. Okay, these people have made you feel unwanted because of their own insecurity. Okay, they made you feel unwanted and undesired because of their insecurity. Okay, you have no reason, baby, to be insecure about yourself. You are gorgeous, beautiful. Okay, you are gorgeous and fucking beautiful. You're an overthinker, sophisticated. You are a chronic overthinker, and you sit there and think, what could be wrong with me? What could be wrong with me? Or how can I fix this individual? How can I fix this person's issues or this person's problems with me? There should be no fucking problems going in, sophisticated. There should be no fucking problems. They should not sit there and judge you and pick you apart. These situations where you keep getting kind of the same type of person where they feel like in some type of way it's your job to take care of them and their needs, but they can't return that favor. That shit is over with. That shit is done. Again, you're refining your confidence. You're rebuilding it for 2026. Okay, you're rebuilding your confidence. They talk about Debbie Downer type energy, okay? They feel like, okay, some people are like, well, you know, you're a little bit too serious for me. Fuck you, then. Fuck you. I don't care. Like, oh, I'm a little bit too serious. You don't want a commitment. You want to act like a fucking child. Fuck you. Cool. Act like that, but not with me. Act like that, but not with me and not near me. Not near me. They always come back because they always end up regretting how they treated you and how they made you feel, because at the end of the day, you were the realest thing that they will ever have in their entire life. So, what do you do with that? You don't go backwards, because you can't appreciate me after I'm motherfucking gone, bitch. After I'm gone and done that, been there and done that. You're not going to appreciate me. You learn fucking nothing, especially returning back around. You should have learned to let it lie, let it low. Let it go. They talk about an Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini for a potential here. Talk about a potential sugar daddy or somebody with finances, with money. You just gotta understand that, like, these people, a lot of these individuals are coming from a place of hurt. And I'm not saying that absolves them of responsibility, because they're still grown. They're still grown ass men, grown ass adults. And you don't deserve to be treated like this. There's nothing in you that should sit there for it or wade through their mess, right? There's nothing in you that should sit there for it, especially if they're not respecting you. Unless they show you promise, and that promise is not a motherfucking lie, which is they're working on their self. Very easy to tell those people from the fakes. Someone who's going to work on themselves is going to correct themselves. When you bring up a concern, you bring up an issue, when you need some reassurance, they're going to do those things for you because they care about you, because they love you. And that doesn't change. That's a consistency. You know what I mean? That's consistency. You're wanting consistency. And all of these people that you're dealing with currently are not consistent. They just aren't. So as you're walking through type shit, I don't see, this is the thing, I don't see the individual you're looking for this year. However, I see so much self-work that it becomes less about when you're going to find the person, or when you're going to find the individual, when you're going to find the person that is going to treat you with respect. Okay? However, it's not going to take you any time at all to find yourself and be happy within yourself and content within yourself. And that contentment is exactly what will attract the right type of partner. Okay? Contentment even with your flaws, even with the things that you feel like it makes you fucked up. You got to be content with those things. Okay? You have to draw the line and say, I'm not fucking perfect just like anybody else. And I'm not going to fix these motherfuckers, bro. They got to learn on themselves. They learn by yourself. Don't come to me with that bullshit. I'm not your mother. I'm not your sister. I'm certainly not going to sit there and be your emotional support animal while you cry, bitch, and moan about everything and then shoot me down in the end of it. Okay, you're learning to love yourself this year. Super important. Super, super important. So yeah, that's where your love life is going. Okay, that's where your love life is going. It's going towards a promotion of self-love and contentment, so that you can find a partner who's also content in themselves. Yeah, buying time, they say, yeah, you're still allowed to have fun. You're still allowed to, scroll around, do your thing. But just keep in mind who you're doing it with. Who you doing it with. Keep in mind who you're doing it with. You don't want to feed back to any energy of the past, okay? You definitely don't. Feel like the individual that will be more your speed that you will be meeting is going to be an earth sign, so Capricorn, Virgo, or a Taurus. Okay, that's going to be the next individual that you meet. Tell me about this earth sign, new one. Tell me about this new earth sign. Taking a risk. This person's also kind of almost very similar. They're very similar, where they take a very similar stance to you. Of like, I'm not going to give you all myself unless you've earned it, first of all. And second of all, I want to take things slow. Because if I don't take things slow, then I already know where the situation is going to go. I want to understand you. It does feel like this person was married once before, or maybe twice before. They've had multiple instances of relationships that they feel have hurt them in some type of way. I do feel like in a way they're kind of a little bit behind you, per se, in the healing aspect, okay? In the healing aspect. But this doesn't mean that they can't learn. And I do see them being open to learning. Got a very pretty smile, very nice smile. Very nice smile. Someone you can find freedom with. There's talking about like backpacking or some shit, like maybe y'all go traveling or something like that. That's a very Aquarius thing as well. That's what they say. But there's something to do with traveling. Okay, traveling, backpacking, or going on trips with an individual. It's gonna feel good. Again, like the sugar mama, sugar daddy type energy. It's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel really fucking good. Yeah, you gotta give up on history, babe. Give up on history. This person is also going to want a very semi-traditional relationship in a way that is so it's modern. It's nothing like, oh, I gotta chain my wife to the kitchen counter type shit. Make sure she make me a sandwich. It's more just like chill. Pick up on the chill vibe. Y'all can laugh together. You can cry together. Y'all gonna have sarcastic humor without anybody getting offended type situation. Okay? This person has money as well. Damn, you be getting up there with all of them, babe. Yeah, this person has money as well. This is a new individual. They have money, they'll pay, but they also want something in return. I'm not compatible with none of those signs for now because you haven't met a healed one. You haven't met a healed one. One that's actually attempting to heal and make the work happen. They're a biker. Let's see. No, they're not a biker. They're not. That's the terminology you use when you ride the back of a motorcycle. I don't pick up on them being a biker. I didn't even know that. Sophisticated. So you teaching me new shit. I don't think they're a biker. They do like travel, however. And they want a travel partner. So they want somebody who's willing to go explore the world with them. Something to that degree. They want someone to explore with them. Not behind them, not leave them at home. They want to go on hikes. They want to do active stuff. I just feel like they've hit a point in their life where they're like wanting to be active. They don't want to sit and do nothing and rot. Okay? So someone who could actually have some fun. Could be a Sag too. Sagittarius. But this is the new individual, okay? Their life is well lived in, yet they haven't experienced anything really riveting for themselves yet within the love and relationship territory. Okay? They truly want that. They want the woman. They want the woman. Running out of time, they said, yeah. This individual believes they're running out of time, but they just really, really want somebody who can be at their side, be next to them. Not, like I said, behind them or in front of them. Just next to them. Can you be next to me? When I stand up and make this decision, can you support that decision? Can you reassure me? Can you give me the reassurance to keep driving, to keep going, to be healthy, to be healed? That's what they're looking for. Okay? Malibu. For the company, I have great work ethic, so I should be considered or at least interviewed. I agree with you, Malibu. Like I said, there should be no fucking problem there. Okay, and you left the message, so like I said, they're gonna get it regardless. They're gonna get it regardless. Again, they wouldn't tell me the fucking outcome, so I just kept slashing through the cards. However, boom. By Capricorn, you said. Have you ever felt like you're supposed to be somewhere and then you start seeing signs of where that leads you to the specific location? That's what I'm getting for the job. Yes. Spirit won't rest until I'm there. Yes. I understand that. And I can understand how that would also make you restless. I literally can understand why that would make you feel like fucking insomniac type shit. You're rolling around and shit. You're like, fuck. Can't stop thinking about this. It drives you crazy. I can understand why you would be pissed off, too, that they wouldn't answer you back because you're overly qualified. Tarkisha's motive being around you by Cap. What's the motive? Yes, sophisticated. It's getting real sophisticated. You're healing. Be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. By Cap. Why is this person around you? Why is she around you? Why is she around you? Uh-oh. Bomb anthem for help. Yeah, it's for help. It's for handouts type shit. Okay, BICAP. It's for handouts. It's for help. They feel like you can help them. That's really what it is. You can help. I'm just seeing if she's being genuine. Now, is she what she wants is help. Okay, the help is what I picked up on. Help. Homosexual. This is a user situation. She wants a sugar mama. Sugar mama to pay for her endeavors type shit. She feels like you got it. In some type of way. She feels like you got it. So she wants help. She's a user. She's a user. It just keeps coming out. It just keeps coming out. Boom, boom, boom. They even said juggalo and shit. Yeah, she's a user. That's the reason why she's there. She's trying to use you. I'm not into her as a girlfriend. Well, she's still a user, regardless of whether you're into her as a friend or not. Friend, girlfriend, wifey, whatever the situational status is, she's a user. Yup. She is a user. She is there for the benefits of having a friend, but not also returning that favor when it comes down to it. She is a user. Fake. So you was right. That you were right to ask as well. When you said sugar, yup, I see what she wants. Handouts. And she's not sorry for it either. That's not something that she's ashamed of doing either, because she's been doing this for a while. Okay? She's not ashamed of it. She's definitely not. They said psychopathic tendencies. Jesus. Of course, BICAP. Of course. Let's see. Who else we got up in here? Oh, yeah, Maya. Maya, if you're still here, post up your question. Maya, post up that question. Post up that question, Maya. Once again, if you can copy paste it, I'm sorry that the fucking chat gets saturated. It's hard to see it with my blind ass. Okay, how will me and Nani's relationship be when she gets my name tattooed on her next year? Let's see. Maya. How will your relationship be? I do tarot too, so I completely understand. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate you. You understand the struggle. All right. Okay, first of all, the finances. Make sure you have the finances in order when she gets her name tatted. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Make sure the finances are good. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they said make sure you're not broke type shit when you ask for this tag. That's what they said. They're talking about being slow to invest. Okay, so it looks like go a little bit slower. First of all, that's what they're saying. Go a little bit slower. You both equally kind of in a space to where I feel like you can benefit from communication growth versus strong commitments right now. Okay. So they say go a little bit slower. Not that it's completely off the table, because I don't say that. I just see it, communication differences coming up very, very, very soon. Okay. Coming up very soon. And, communication errors can make or break the relationship if you're not listening, right? If you're not listening. I feel like, there's some sort of, on her part, she struggles with self-sabotage, self-isolation, a little bit of depression. Okay, a little bit of depression. Not that I'm seeing, like I said, I don't see any reason why not. But I'm saying there's a lot to talk about. Okay, there's a lot of changes to come between y'all when it comes to communication. There just is. Like, so this is kind of what would make or break a situation like this. Is just error, and hurt and pain that doesn't get resolved. That's me a lot. Okay, so whatever you resonate with, pick it up. But it's easy to say that, like, it's super easy to say that, like, you guys are almost kind of like in a perfect situation, because that it's deeper than that. Like, especially for you, it's deeper than that. But really what I see from her perspective is that she needs to begin to list how she really feels, because I feel like how she really feels, she's just shy in that way, in a very insecure way. She needs to tell how she really feels about it versus what she tells you to make you happy about it. She needs to really say what she really wants to say, because I feel like it's just not that simple. Okay, Maya, that's what I'm picking up on. I feel like you're unlike anybody that she has met, though, so that's a clear sign that she is fucking smitten. She's like, this is somebody that, bro, like, this person is so special to me. They make me very happy. However, there's so much more to talk about. So much more to talk about. Okay? Like, she can see you easily. Nani can see you with her for a long-term relationship. Easily. Very easily. Just, y'all got work to do, baby. Don't be rushing. Don't be rushing now. Oh, shit. Just dropped all this shit on the ground. Dropped half of it on the ground now. We're all right. Dropped half that shit on the ground. All right. I think what I'll do, where are we at right now? See, we hit the 5-hour mark. So what I'll do is I'll do 2 more readings, and then I'll hop off because I gotta go feed my animals. Make sure the kitties are fed. When we first started dating, she thought I wasn't gonna like her because of how hurt she'd been, but when I gave her the space to feel safe and communicated, girl, Maya, you smitten too. You smitten too. You smitten too. There's a lot of things to work through. How she currently feels about you. She feels like you're somebody she can open up with. She can open up with you. She's afraid of history repeating itself. It's not about you. It's more about the people that she's already dealt with. She has a negative connotation to commitment in relationships just because of her past situations. She's afraid also because there's something to do with, like, toxic friendship or something of that nature. They talk about toxic friendships or toxic people around. She loves you. She loves you. She's in love with you. She loves you. For sure. And this is, I can see how this would be where it gets kind of scary for you. But yeah, she's in love with you. Careful, they say, careful about self-isolating for the sake of the relationship. She's currently around toxic people. Okay. Yeah, careful about self-isolating for the sake of the relationship. What you don't need to do right now is put yourself in a situation where you're only relying on her. That's where things become codependent. I mean, for social interaction and that sort of thing. You do need an outside opinion. I don't know if you have a therapist already or if you already have kind of a group of friends that you communicate with, but they definitely say that you do need other people outside of her just for the social aspect of things. Like, you deserve that, And you're like, well, all I really need is a situation. Don't do that to yourself, because you don't want to become codependent. It gets so scary. Because once you're like that and then this person's around toxic people, you start getting very protective, and that's where arguments can start. You want to give her also the space enough to breathe, to realize that those situations are toxic and fucked up. And I think that you can become a very, very good support for her to the point to where she will realize, okay, yeah, these people is fucked up. These people is strange. They are toxic. They aren't really friends to her. Okay. That's what I see. I'm sorry for putting my vape up there, but that's what I see. Okay. It's if you are open to the idea of therapy, I really truly do suggest it. It is something that it's not just because I'm saying like, oh, you need help with communication. It's not just like that. It's more or less how you feel is kind of what I'm seeing in the cards of what I think should be on the main front of your mind versus pushing it back and trying to please her. Okay. You need space to validate how you feel. If you're around with someone all the time, and even if you're not around them, you think about them all the time, it can become a very like OCD obsessive thing. When you fully indulge in a situation, when you're in love with somebody, you put in 110% of the work. And you need to give yourself space enough to also put in work on you versus putting it fully into her. Okay? That's what it is. Me and her sister have been trying to get her away from that. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You need to allow her to be in it. Because essentially, like I said, if you once you start changing your communication around, and this comes with our therapy too, once you start changing communication around a little bit and your understanding at least of the dynamics between her and those people, and you allow that space for yourself so that you can be like, okay, well, you're going to go hang out with those people. Let me do my little hobbies. Let me do my little shit. And then you're able to communicate with her still through those moments, those harder moments of when she's dealing with those toxic ass people. It becomes a lot easier. Like, it becomes a lot easier to just let it go because she will learn by herself that they are not for her. Okay. Now, her sister getting involved and be like, well, let me try to, yeah. It's just not easy to strong arm somebody into changing this quickly, okay, this fast. Because she's still coming from a lot of places of hurt, okay? But the change needs to really be in you. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yes, it's a problem that she has toxic friends, but the change needs to be in you to allow her the space to grow from that, okay? And when she comes to you and is like, oh my God, this person's doing this person's doing that, then you're going to be ready to lay down those boundaries and being like, I do not want to hear about this person because you know how I feel about them. And I am not ready to, like I said, I don't want to have a conversation about them because essentially all it's going to do is make us agitated. It's going to make both of us agitated. And then we're sitting in a situation where I can't fully support you. Because I can't support what they're fucking doing. Okay? You got me? There's a workaround. It's when I dye my hair match the pink. Match her peekaboo. What makes stronger and feel grounded in our relationship. That's cute. First of all, Maya. That's very cute. Yes. Yes, it will. But do it the way that you want to. Do it the exact way that you want to. You want to do it? See, this is the overthinking part of you, Maya. It's like, if you want to do it, do it. You don't have to ask me that. You know that. If you want to do it, do it. It's hard because we're long distance and I'm also in a long distance relationship, so I understand you. I get it. I do. I genuinely understand it. He really knows what I'll do. I'm overprotective when people do stuff like that. It's understandable. It's understandable. But that's why I say the therapy helps. Helps me. Shit. First year with my long distance. Shit. Woo. She tells me a lot to stop. See, this is the thing. You're allowed to think about things because you're thinking about how you feel behind that. But really what you need to do is you need to think about, okay, so you get into an overthinking spout. You start thinking this and this and this and that. How do I solve this about this person? How do I solve that about this person? How do I please this person? How do I do this and this and that? You have to kind of go back in your mind a little bit and think about why you feel the need to do those different things, right? It's easy for somebody to say stop, but it's not always the appropriate response, because sometimes the emotion is just a little bit deeper than that. Okay. That's what it is. There we. Reason why I'm going to therapy is because I hit walls. It's like I'll say something positive and then I switch up and get negative, and I'll be saying I do too much. And it's just like, stop, you're worrying about it too much. And that's exactly how usually 99% of the time it should be. But then also there's a deeper feeling under that needs to be addressed. Hence why you're overthinking it. You know what I mean? The deeper feeling is the one that needs to be addressed. But for me, therapy is more or less working out myself. It's got, partner is a part of it, yeah. Family is a part of it, of course. I've been through a lot. Naturally, I want, even regardless of whether you've been through a lot or not, you still want to be able to work through all those insecurities and make sure that your partner feels secure as well as you feeling secure in yourself. Because that's not something your partner can do for you. That's where it becomes a codependent relationship, is when you're relying on your partner for that confidence to be like, no, stop. I mean, partner can be a great reminder. However, you never want to fully rely on them for that confidence to be like, okay, boom, 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 boom. But, you have experience type shit. But Maya, yeah, I understand you. I get it. It also it becomes a situation of where you feel like you have to manage the other person's emotions. But that should never happen. They need to be able to manage their own emotions, and you need to be able to regulate yours as well. A lot before I met her, I see. And a lot of my way from healing is doing self-love. Good. That's very good. And I'm very proud of you for that. Don't lose that. Don't lose the self-love version of you inside of the relationship. Keep it there and present, because that is the person that your partner is falling in love with. Okay. They're falling in love with that you. Don't feel grounded. I pull my energy back, so I will give, when I come in, you're doing great then. You're doing great then. You're doing great, Maya. Yeah. That's how you do it. Do you need a break? Get something to eat, use the bathroom. I'm going to hop off. Actually, I was just kind of finishing up type shit. Anybody who rolled through and was like, shit, I didn't get my motherfucking reading. I do this on a regular basis where I do free tarot. For those of you who have never had a tarot reading done by me before, hit the subscribe and the notification bell, because you will see when I go live. How about that? You will see when I go live, so I can hit you and I can get you. Because I want to do this more on a regular basis. I have fun doing this. I like this a lot. I write a reading so accurate, made me feel so grounded in myself. Good, Maya. I appreciate you rolling through. I love the positive talks. I love whatever talks we go through type shit. I'm here for the whole ride. And thank you, Malibu, for caring about that. But yes, I'm about to hop the fuck off. Yes, we have been on for 5 hours. 5 hours. Technically, because I had that other live stream as well where I was on for 3. But yeah, we be back type shit. I kind of want to do a nighttime stream. Like, that's what I'm feeling. I want to do something real fucking late at night, because that's when that's when the creatures come out, y'all. That's when the fucking creatures come out. I love that shit. When y'all insomniacs, y'all staying up all fucking night, you're like, what the fuck do I do with myself? And then people come in all fucking delusional. I love that shit. Because I'm in the same boat, yo. Face to face. I'm in the same boat. And I ain't got nothing to do for this week. So boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, y'all. Thank you for the sub. All right, y'all. Yeah, like I said, nighttime, pay attention, y'all. I might hop on at night just to see what y'all are up to. All right, thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. If you like this live stream, make sure you hit like. And I have other videos on this channel. Hit those little two type shit. Find your little signs, find your little peoples type shit. Let me know how I do. Hit up a comment. If maybe kind of hung around and you were like, shit, yeah, I didn't get my reading. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification, you know what I mean? Pop through, because I will do these live streams more often because I enjoy doing it. It's awesome. I always have fun meeting y'all, learning from y'all, learning about y'all, going through the cards, going through the motions. And I want to see more of you, okay? I want to see more of you. You're welcome here type shit, okay? She pissed me off. Then you gone type shit. All right. I'll stop playing. All right. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And I'll see you.